Jason, Newey Scruggs, NBC5. Is this a case of championship experience against some of the youth of your team tonight?
No, the Warriors are good. They're a good team. We executed there for a little bit. That third quarter, we talked about and understood. That's where they, tend to turn up the heat, and so. We got great looks, but we have to do better. We have to understand when we shoot 3 or 4 threes in a row and miss, you got to get to the rim. You got to get the ball into the paint. You got to get to the free throw line, and that's just understanding the situation, learning, and maybe it is experience. But again, the guys came out and executed from the start and put ourselves in a position to win on the road.
You also lost the battle of the boards, but as you said, you got to play smaller lineups. But Looney had a pretty big game against you guys. What can you do to try to, lessen his impact as the series goes on?
Yeah, you got to put a body on him. You got to box him out. We have to team rebound and make sure that he doesn't come up with the rebound. But that's he's one of the guys that no one writes about or talks about, but we understand the impact that he has on the game of giving those guys second or third opportunities. So for him to have 5 offensive rebounds, that puts us in harm's way.
Why do you think the dam broke for you guys defensively in the fourth quarter?
Offense. We play defense when we play offense, and we play no defense when we can't score. And that's something that we have to get better at this time of the year. You can get away with it in the regular season, but, just understanding the defensive principles, we just have to do better.
Jason, where on some of the dunks they were able to get, guys like Kevon Looney, some of those breakdowns, where was the breakdown in the chain of the rotation there? Like, where were you seeing the defense come apart?
Well, I think it just, they made plays, and we just have to do better. They attack the paint. We got to protect the rim. And when we go back to look at that's one of the things that we have to do better. When we looked after game 1, we did a lot better with the physicality of the game, being able to make shots there in that first half. We made shots, again, putting ourselves in a position, and then we got those same shots in the third. But when you go 2 for 13 and you rely on the 3, you can die by the 3, and we died in the third quarter by shooting that many threes and coming up with only 2.
Jason, what goes into the thought process, especially there in the third quarter? They make their big run, get back in the basketball game. How do you evaluate when to call a timeout, when not to? How do you try and use that, or perhaps not use that to stem the tide in that situation?
You only have so many timeouts. I can't burn them all in the third. And so just understanding, we've gone through runs. This is a team about runs, and also this is a great learning experience for a young team to go through to understand what it means to stop a run. Can't ask the coach to always call a timeout, and we believe in one another to be able to execute on the offensive end and get a stop or get a basket and get a stop. And so we took timeouts, but just, sometimes you got to put the ball in the basket to stop a run.
Jason, you guys over right here.
Where are you at, Tim?
Right here.
There.
You guys have taken pretty much the most threes in the postseason, and you've won that way. So in your eyes, what's the difference from taking too many threes, or what's a 3-point shot that you guys were taking that it would be better or for a different outcome?
Well, if you make them, that's great, but you just have to understand, if you miss 4 in a row, you can't take the 5th. You got to make it. That just puts too much stress on yourself and your team. Because if you're not getting stops on the other end, it turns into a blowout. And so that's what I mean by being understanding, what situations we put ourselves in by shooting 4 threes in a row. If you shoot the 5th one, you got to be able to make it. If you don't, you're on the other end of a blowout, and that's what happened in the third quarter.
Jason, you guys have shown the ability to be resilient at multiple different stops through this postseason. Is this as big a piece of adversity your team has faced in these playoffs, having such a big lead and allowing it to go away?
It's basketball. We're on the road against one of the best teams in the league. It happens. They held serve. We've seen this in Phoenix. So now we have to go back and just focus on Game 3 and get ready for Game 3, understanding what's at stake. We just have to protect home and focus on that first possession.
Sorry, Jason. I was just curious, what did you think about Luka's resolve and his grit, knowing that he wasn't at full strength heading into this and hadn't had a great game in Game 1?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about that before the game, that we thought he would have a good game, and he did. That's just who he is. He put his team in a position to win on the road, not just by having 42 points, but, only had 2 turnovers. He took care of the ball tonight. He was a great quarterback. He got guys wide open shots. We just have to make them. Thanks.
Yeah, Reggie, one of the points that Jason made after the game was that once the third quarter unfolded, you guys probably shot too many three-pointers after missing a few in a row. Do you agree with that assessment? And was there a point in there where you might have realized that you guys were doing that?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Coming out in the third, we was taking some early looks from the three-point line when we could have drove the ball to be able to get into the lane. Yeah, so it pretty much just started off with that, and they was just able to get out in transition and get the ball going.
Reggie, and overall, why do you just feel like the dam kind of broke in the third quarter after halftime?
We know how good they are as a third quarter team. It's just something that just slipped away from us as the game just continued to go on. In the third quarter, they came out. I mean, they held us to what? How many points they held us to? What, like 13 or something like that? 15. But yeah, and that came from a lot of us taking early threes, and they got them going.
Reggie, they had 62 points in the paint. Obviously, Kevon Looney had the night he had. Do you think defensively you guys overreacted to the three-point line a little bit too much?
For them, you saying?
Yeah, defensively, you guys playing them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't, it was some of our little small breakdowns, stepping up to the big when somebody coming into the paint, getting easy drop-offs and stuff like that. We know how tough they are as an opponent to guard them from the three-point line, but we just made little mistakes of stepping up and, giving him easy buckets around the rim.
Jay Kidd said you guys don't play defense when you can't score. He felt like that's kind of what happened in the second half. You're obviously one of the stoppers on this team. I'm curious your reaction to that.
I mean, that's what Coach C. That's what happened. But I mean, I don't think it took away from us, as competing. We probably didn't see some shots going in, and we probably was a little bit lackadaisical on the rotations or something like that because we didn't see shots going in. But as a coach, if he see that, I'm sure that's what happened.
You have stitches in your eye here.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
I don't know exactly how many he put in here, but it was just a little contact. I mean, it's playoffs. It's going to be physical out there. So got stitched up, be ready to go next game.
Reggie, what was said amongst you all as teammates after this game? You had a 19-point lead, and obviously they got everything going there in the third quarter and won it.
We've been in this position before. We was just in it last series. Going back home, we got some of the best fans in the world. They're going to be there to support us. They're going to give us a lot of energy. We just got to come out with a great mindset that we can be able to pull away to at home and, be back here in San Fran to be able to, compete for Game 5.
Thank you, Reggie.
Yep.
Jalen, what did you see happen in the third quarter, especially defensively?
They got a lot of easy looks. They were playing Warrior basketball. They're making us move. They had a great run in the third quarter, great third quarter team. They just made a run, and we just let the run go on for too long.
I'm sure it's easy to focus or react to the shooting they have. Do you think there's any overreaction to the three-point line that led to the 62 points in the paint for them?
I mean, they're a good team. So, I mean, whether they're shooting the ball from the outside or if we're running them off, they're making plays in the inside. So, they made the right reads.
Jason was fairly critical of the defense that you guys played. Said when we play defense when we play offense, when we play no defense when we can't score. Is that how you saw that second half unfold?
I said this all year. The coaching staff is always going to put us in a position to be successful. We just got to stick to the game plan, and we got to basically preach what they're coaching. So that's that.
Jalen, you guys made 16 of your first 28 threes, and you stayed hot for the game. You finished 5 of 7. But when you're making them at that kind of rate, is it hard to stop shooting them once a few of them stop dropping, like what happened in the third quarter?
I mean, we were getting great looks. When we're open, we're going to shoot. We have a lot of guys capable of making shots, knocking shots down. I think as long as we're open and making the correct shooting the correct shots, making the extra pass, doing the things that we do, we have confidence in everybody. I have confidence in everybody to knock it down.
Jalen and Jason spoke about you guys knowing that they were a third quarter team that would make a run. Is some of this loss on the fact that you guys are a younger team in experience versus those guys over there who have championship experience?
I mean, yes, they do have championship experience, and I guess you could say we don't, but it was lost from us just not playing defense to the level that we're capable of, and that's the reason why we lost.
Jalen, Jason's talked a bunch this season about how he approaches timeouts when other teams are going on runs and how he likes to give you guys a long leash and let you guys figure it out. What have you guys learned from that approach this season, and how does that maybe differ or not differ in the playoffs when it comes to being able to try and slow down what they're doing?
He's always been able to basically tell us to make adjustments on our own, and we've been doing a great job of that. We've been doing a great job of talking to each other. And so he obviously helps us, coaches us, but I think as a team, it gives us the opportunity to figure out what we're doing. And so it's definitely helped. It's got us this far. Now we just got to continue to trust what we do.
I was going to ask to follow up on that too. What have you guys learned about being able to play yourself out of holes or be able to play yourself out of kind of those deficits this season? And what do you think you're able to build on that, I guess, going forward, being in this position now?
Yeah, we've learned that we just got to stick together through the good and the bad. We're a bunch of guys who really enjoy playing with each other, and we just got our 2 words, chemistry and accountability, all year. So just got to keep going.
Thanks, JB.
Luka, we heard that you were sick heading into this game, and obviously shoulder's still in pain. Can you take us what all you've gone through in the last 2 days heading into this game?
No, it was more last night. I was a little bit sick, but nothing serious. The shoulder we got treatment on, so it's fine. It's all good.
All good. Did you feel any sort of effects, like energy-wise or pain-wise in the game?
No, I don't think so. Just, the pain for the shoulder was a little bit there, but other than that, I think after the first quarter I was really tired, but then after that I was good.
From your perspective, what went wrong in the third quarter?
Bad defense, that's it. We gotta concentrate on our defense these 2 games. Our defense gotta improve a lot.
J. Kidd talked about he felt like you guys relied on the 3 too much in the third quarter when it wasn't going for you. When you shoot 47%, you hit 21. Obviously, that's good. But what's the balance between wanting to attack and taking looks that are there and that are good looks?
Yeah, I think the same. I think we rely too much on the three. We weren't attacking the paint that much. But we gotta attack the paint more, like they did. They attack the paint a lot. They have two of the best shooters in the world, and they still attack the paint. So I think we gotta rely less on the three. Obviously, it's a good percentage, but I think we gotta rely more on getting to the paint and then kick outs.
Luka, it looked like in the first half, you were Wiggins was your primary matchup, and you were going after him, getting shots on him a lot. Looked like in the third quarter it was Looney more often, or maybe later in the game. Did I see that right? And is that something that you kind of adjusted to that they were doing?
I don't know what you mean.
Like it looked like you were looking for switches against Looney in the third quarter a lot more than earlier in the game.
I mean, yeah, when they switch, the low man is early there. So I think we gotta, when I take the paint, usually there's two on me or three, so I gotta do a better job, kicking it out. And for them, we gotta be aggressive. I think those things we gotta improve in the next game.
Luka, you guys have been down 0-2 now in back-to-back series, but to be up 19 and then allow them to come back the way that they did, is this the most substantial bit of adversity you guys have faced in these playoffs, and how do you bounce back now?
Can you normal English for me? I don't understand those two words.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Is this
okay.
the toughest
Okay,
situation you guys
yeah.
have faced in the playoffs? And how do you bounce back?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man, it's the Warriors. They have a great team. Like I said, they're a championship team. So like I said, we got to adjust our defense. It's very hard to stop them. But it's a tough situation. We were up 20 or 19, so it's a tough situation. But we can't look back. What happened, so we got to move on.
This is the second time that you guys have been out-rebounded. The conventional wisdom was that the Warriors would have a hard time rebounding because they're not that big. What can you guys do to make it a more even rebounding stat?
We just got to do a better job closing out and rebounding. I mean, that's it. We got to be more physical, and we got to close out better and rebound the ball.
Luka, Jason's talked a bunch this season about how he likes to use timeouts or doesn't like to use timeouts to stop runs and to let you guys sort through things on the court for yourselves. Do you like that in the playoffs, and how do you think that strategy differs in the regular season in terms of trying to get everything collected and get everybody on the same page?
Yeah, I mean, that's good. He's the coach, he's the boss, so whatever he says is good. So sometimes he's gonna take the time out, sometimes no. I think obviously when you play away, I think he's gonna take more timeouts than at home. At home is a little bit easier because of the crowd, but he's the boss, so we listen to him. Yeah.
I'm sure you're used to it by now, but what do you think of Jalen?
Great. He played great. A lot of guys play great. I think offensively we're fine. It's just the defensive end we gotta improve a lot.
Luka, ¿qué es lo más complicado después de que arrancan, parece haciéndolo todo bien, esa ventaja de casi 20 puntos que tenían y ver a este equipo regresar de esa manera?
Bueno, es difícil de aguantar a ellos. No hemos hecho nuestro trabajo en la segunda parte. En la primera parte creo que hemos defendido bien y la segunda no, así que tenemos que improvisar nuestra defensa.
Ya saben lo que es estar en esta situación, 2 juegos abajo. ¿Qué es lo que les ha permitido, como fue en la serie anterior, regresar para ahora volverlo a intentar?
Creer en nosotros. Cada uno cree que podemos ganar estos 2 siguientes partidos, así que vamos a creer hasta el final.
Eric Mora.
Luka Doncic, ¿cómo estás? Eric Mora desde el mundo acá en Dallas. ¿Cómo salir de esta decepción de este partido después de 19 puntos estar arriba? ¿Cómo dejar atrás y cambiar ese chip? Porque es un golpe fuerte para el equipo cuando pues muchos, incluso aquí en el American Airlines Center, decían que el equipo podía ganar. Mucha gente se fue muy decepcionada. ¿Cómo cambiar ese chip para poder ganar el próximo juego?
Bueno, como siempre, olvidar al siguiente, así que tenemos que pensar en el siguiente. Lo que pasó, así que a pensar en el siguiente.
Last one, Maria. Hola Lucas, espero estés bien. Quisiera preguntarte cuáles fueron los principales retos o desafíos en estos dos primeros partidos allá en la Bahía.
Bueno, creo que nuestra defensa era un reto muy grande y creo que no lo hemos ejecutado bien, así que tenemos que mejorar nuestra defensa. Thank you.